what's up, my peoples? MGO here, the freaking geek himself, and it's time to just transform Star Toys Tracker. So without further ado, let's just transform it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the hand and we're going to rotate it. So the palm is facing down. Be mindful of the thumb, because the thumb likes to get caught up under here. There we go. Rotate that hand like so. Then you're going to open up this panel, and that will allow you to open all of this up. Bring that down, and then rotate the hand in. Close that back up, and flip that back in. Same thing on the other side. Just rotate that hand so the palm is facing down. Bring this panel out so you can open this up. Rotate that hand in. Close that back up, and close that back up. And next we're going to start undoing the backpack. So take these side sections here and just pop these out. Pop these out. And the hood here is tabbed into this section. So just going to untab that. Free that up. You're going to take that hood and bring it down. Now these little metal armatures here, just want to bring those up. Just unhook those so you can get all that freed up. These will just drop down like that. You want to take these side sections here and you just want to pull them out and untab them so you can just swing that out. So again, just kind of give that a little wiggle. Just kind of pull that out so you can untab this section here and just bring all of that out. Then you want to take this whole assembly and just pull it back. I'll just unhook there, and you can kind of bring these little side windows out here. That'll just help you get a little bit of extra room there. So you want to take his head, you just want to start kind of bringing it back. It'll undo that little panel right there. You can just bring that up. What you're going to do with his head is you're going to take his head. The neck is on a hinge, so you want to basically take the whole neck assembly here and swing it around to the other side, like that. And then you just want to use this hinge here for the neck and bring the head back, and the head will just tuck right in here, and just push that back, and that'll sit there like that. So now you want to take this section here, you're going to open these up, and flip in that barrel, open this up, and flip that in. This hinge on mine is loose, so it'll probably flip back out. But you're going to take the central portion here and just rotate that back. Then you're going to take these sections here. They're on hinges. Swing that forward. Swing that forward. And now this whole central portion will rotate down and basically get it to a point like halfway. So you can take these sections and rotate them around like that. So just get that around and get that around. At this point, you can then finish rotating this so that windshield is sitting nice and flush. At this point now, you can take this whole backpack section here and just rotate it 180. And now we can finish this up. So this little panel right here, you're just going to fold in, and then this will rotate in and sit in there like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Just flip that in and rotate that in. So you have all of that looking like that. And then you can just take these sides and bring them in. Tap them back into place. There are little sliders here, so just make sure you compress that all the way in, and everything is sitting nice and flush. Now this door section here, you want to straighten out these hinges, and it's on a slider, so slide it down. So it's sitting there. Flip out that side view mirror, and we'll just leave that like that for now. Now we're going to start working on all this here. So this section right here is on a slider, so you have to slide all of this up. And not the easiest thing to do, but you want to get this slid up. I don't know how you can see it, but just get that slid up in there to where that's sitting flush with everything else. That will allow you to then rotate this out, and then you can rotate all of this up so that wheel well is now together. Then you can just take the arm and rotate it in so that wheel is facing out. Once you've done that, you can take this door and bring this up and just get that situated. I'll just kind of notch itself in right there like that. And now second verse like the first, so take this hinge here and just straighten that out. Slide that down, make sure you bring out that side view mirror. And then we're going to, again, take this section here and just slide that up. This side's a little bit more cooperative, but you can kind of see what ends up happening there. So then you can rotate this out, rotate this up. Then you just kind of want to drop all this down and then take the arm, rotate it in so that wheel is facing out. And then you just take this door, bring it up, and just get it clipped in behind that wheel well. So it's all sitting like that. So then you want to take this yellow section here, you want to take this and just flip this around. Now these tabs are facing out. Then you just want to take this chest section and just pop it up and just bring it up like that. Now to get the arms in place, you just want to swing the arm in at this hinge here. You have this little panel here. You want to flip out. Make sure you flip it out all the way like that. Then you want to rotate the arm at the bicep. Then you just want to bring this in, fold this down, and you have this tab right here. It's going to go into the slot right there. So just get all that lined up and push that into place so it's sitting there like that. Do the same thing on the other side. So bring that arm in so you can get this little panel out, rotate at the bicep, and then just swing this in and get this tabbed in to the center, get everything straightened out. So you got it looking like that. So now you want to take the whole lower body here and you want to bring it down like that, and then bring the legs back up. And now we can start working on the legs. So what we're going to do first is we're going to open this gray panel here. Get that open, and you can use the ankle tilt to help you take this little bit here and just bring that down. And then you can close that up, straighten the foot back out. You're going to take this whole front gray panel here and unclip it. Bring that up. It's on a slider, so you can just take this and extend it out. Bring it up. And we have this panel here, untab it, bring it down. Now, you have this section here, this little gray bit, and rotate it out. And then you can bring all of this up and then take this gray section and swing it in like that. So blue panel here, you want to just unclip it. So it's just sitting like that. And now you want to bring this leg up. The front of the thigh, you want to untab and then swing it to the outside and bring it back down. And now we can collapse this leg in. So bring all this in, bring this back up, bring the foot up as well. And what we want to happen is this blue panel is going to end up sitting underneath the foot. So once you get it, everything's sitting like that. You basically want that going on. And then just collapse all this in. And we don't want to secure all this up just yet. You want to leave this down, but you want it looking like that. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, just open up this little foot panel here. Again, you can engage that ankle tilt. So you can flip this little bit down, close that back up, open up the gray panel here. Just open it up, slide it out, untab this, bring it down, bring this little gray section out, bring it up, and then just swing this around to the other side. And just make sure that this little blue panel is unclipped. Bring that back, bring all this back, untab this thigh panel here, bring that out to the side, bring it back down, and then just start collapsing all this back in, flip that foot up, make sure this little blue panel ends up underneath the foot. And get that all situated so it's looking like that. So once you have done that, you have tab slot connection right there. So line that up and tab that in, and then now you can push this up because this is going to lock this in place. So now you can push this up and snap all this back into place. That is now locked in. You're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So again, just get that lined up and then slide this up, and this will now lock that in. And now you can properly close all of this up. And then you can take these sections here and rotate them in like that. And now you can take the two halves and tab it all together. Let's get that all lined up. Get that all lined up. Get that all snapped together. So you got it looking like that. So you can take all this, bring it down. It'll just clip into place right here, like that. And gotta bring that back, get it out of the way. Now you want to take these sections here and just slide them out and down. You do want to make sure that these side view mirrors are not in the way because they love to flip back in. You don't want to get caught up. So take these and just slide them out. You can see here there's a little tab that's going to go into a notch right in there. So it just kind of helps you locate everything. Just gonna get that slid out and get that seated in place like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Just bring that out and down. There we go, like that. And that should be looking like that. Once you've done that, you can take the windshield here, just bring it in, just make sure it tucks underneath that roof panel here. And just get that popped down, and you have multiple slots for multiple tabs. Just bring that down and get that hood tabbed into place like that. So now you want to take these sections with the wings and just untab them. I'll drop that down there. So what's going to happen now is that you have these tabs that are in theory supposed to go into two notches right up in here. It doesn't really work, but it's in theory is what's supposed to happen. But just gotta get that. Just bring that down best you can. The real connection you're relying on is these tab slot connections here on the sides. So just get that lined up and get that popped in on either side. So you got that squared up. And now with the wings, what's going to happen is you're going to straighten out this hinge here. Bring this in, and you're going to rotate this around like so. And you have a tab slot connection that will happen right there. So just tab that in and then just fold this down like that. So again, just kind of swing this in, rotate this. So that tab slot connection lines up. Just bring that down, tab that in, fold that wing down, get that all nice and squozen so it's looking like that. And there you have Tracker in his alt mode. So now to get him into flying car mode, we need to undo these wing bits here. Just kind of straighten all this out. Just kind of swing these out. Just get everything freed up here. Take all this and untab it. And just swing this up. Get this out of the way. And now we need to just open up these side panels here. We got the little tail fins. Just rotate that up, untab that, and get that up. Make sure that this little barrel stays in. Mine's very loose, so that's why it just flops out. But just get that sitting there like that. So now we need to unlock these sections here. So we need to take this bit and slide it down. And this can be a bit tricky to do. You may need a tool just to help you kind of get these down. And kind of get all this up and just kind of unclipped. Just gonna get that pulled down as best you can. Do it on both sides here. So again, you may need the help of a tool just to make your life a little bit easier. Get that popped up. Get that popped up. So you can then get this going. You also, it does help also if you undo the hood here. If you just gotta give it a little twisty twist, that hood will pop up, and that'll just help you get a little extra leverage here. Also may help if you get the windshield completely out of the way. And while you're doing that, this may slide back up on you. So again, you don't want that to happen. You just want to be able to get this loosened up here. There we go. Get that freed up, because we need to get the door and bring this down. It helps if you just kind of take this section and just kind of pull it back a little bit, so you just bring those doors down. That's ultimately your goal here. So just get these doors brought down like that. Then you're going to take the side view mirror, flip that in. This little panel here, you want to bring that in. Do the same thing on both sides. Flip that in, and bring this little panel and bring that down. So now you want to untab the arms and just get them just kind of swung out. Now this section of the wheel here will unpeg and come out like that. So just get the arm just kind of straightened out. At this point, you just kind of want to get the arms out and out of the way. You want to take this wheel here and open it up like that. So now you can take these sections and basically get them clipped back in. So just get that in place. You also want to make sure that these doors are now sitting underneath like that. And just get all this back in place. And this can be a little tricky to do. Again, make sure that this is all the way down. There we go. So it's sitting in there like that, and then you can just bring that up and lock that in place. Again, this part's a little annoying, but there we go. Just get that sitting in there, and then push that back up to lock all that in place. You can snap all this down, and that's good to go. So now what we're doing here is we're taking this panel, we're untabbing it, we're bringing it around, and it will just tab in right there. So now you're just going to bring the arm out. You're going to rotate at the bicep, fold it in. You're going to have a tab slot connection that happens right there. Just line that up and tab that in. So you got it like that. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, just swing that arm out. Take this panel, bring that around. Get that tabbed into its home. Rotate the arm at the bicep, and then just bring that in and tab it into the side like that. And you're going to take the windshield here and just get that pop back into place and get that hood back in. There we go. And let's get that seated back. There we go. So we got it looking like that. So at this point, we can close these side sections back up. Again, make sure that this doesn't flop back down on you. Get that closed up, and we can bring this back down and just secure this back into its home, like so. And what's going to happen now is you're going to rotate this assembly down, and this tab right here is going to go into this slot right here. Just bring that in and tab that into place, and just rotate that wing around so it's oriented properly like that. Same thing on the other side. So again, just rotate this entire assembly in, get that tabbed into the inside of that wheel, and get that straightened out. Like so. These panels here, you can just kind of bring them out so they're sitting there like that. And the last thing to do is just bring in this little cannon barrel here. They'll just plug in right into that front grille. And there you have Tractor in flying car mode. So now to get him back into robot mode, just remove this little barrel here, put that off to the side, and we can just kind of start undoing stuff here. So untab these wings, just untab them, and just get them up and out of your way. Take all this and untab it, and bring this up. Take these sections here, untab them, and just rotate these little fins down. Untab and rotate those fins down. Just keep all that out of your way for now. We can untab the arms and untab the arms. We can rotate these out. We can pretty much get the arms transformed up at this point. So this wheel, you can see there's a little post-port connection that happens right there. So you basically want to take the wheel and just kind of push it in and down. And that will just snap into place right there. Let's again straighten out the arm and just push that wheel kind of back and down and snap that in. Take this little panel here and flip that in. Undo this panel here, bring that out, and just bring all this down. Rotate the hand out. And then just close that back up and just take this panel and swing that in. And then you can just rotate that hand. We got the arm done. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, just undo that panel there. Bring all this down. Rotate that hand out. Close that up. And then we can just rotate that hand, actually rotating it the other way, like that. And then just take this panel, swing it under, tap it in. This little panel here, flip that in to fill in that bicep. And we can just leave that like that for now. And now we have to unlock these sections here. So again, just kind of get under and just pull this down. Again, you may need the assistance of a tool just to help you. Kind of get all that down, free all that up. There we go. It helps if you can pop all this up. Get that in, free that up, and just get all this kind of popped up. There we go. It helps. You can really free that up. And now we can undo these sections here and get that freed up. Just get up under here and just kind of free all of that up. And in doing so, you probably wiggle this loose, which you need to do. So get this up and undo that windshield, bring that forward, and just get everything out of your way here. At this point now, we can untab the legs and get started working on all of this. So we just want to take this front grille section and just rotate it so the flat end is facing down. And we can just start extending all of this. Let's open this up and get all this freed up. Extend all of this up like so. Just get this rotated back just to get it out of the way so you can take the slice section, bring it up, bring it forward, and just tab it back in. Then you can bring this up. This little gray section here, you want to take this and swing this all the way out, and then bring this forward, and then swing that forward like that, and bring this panel up. This will tab in right there to hold that into place. You can then bring the foot down. This little blue panel here, just snap that into place, bring this down, bring this in, and just push all this in, snap that into place. Now we want to open up the top of the foot here. And conceivably what's supposed to happen is you can push up right here in this slot. So you can get this thing started. You can see it kind of come up. I can never get this out. I wish this actually opened up more, but you know, it is what it is. I just use a tool here just to help me bring that up the rest of the way like that and close that up. And there you have a leg all done. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, just kind of get things moving here. Get things swung out. Bring this back. Bring this panel up. Rotate it forward. Tap that back into place. Bring all this up. Again, this little gray section here. Swing that all the way out. And then bring all that forward. And then take this gray bit and bring that forward. Bring this panel up. Tab that in right there. Rotate this little front grill down. So again, the flat bit is facing down. Bring that foot down. Bring all this down. Make sure this little blue panel stooped into place. And you can bring all this in and close all that back up. And then open up the top of the foot. And then get that little bit started. Again, kind of hard to do, but just get it started. Again, I use a tool. Tell me bring it up the rest of the way. Like that. And they can close that foot back up. And you got that done. So now you just want to bring the legs down. Make sure these little skirt pieces don't rotate up with them. So bring those legs down and then take this entire waist assembly and rock this back up. And there you have the lower body all done. At this point, you can take this chest piece and just rock it down. It'll just tab into these two tabs right there. So just use those hinges there, bring that down, take this bit and rotate it back around so the yellow is facing you. So I just want to take this section, just kind of rock it up like that. So you can take these window sections here and just collapse them up and in. You just kind of want to leave them out for now. Just collapse them up and in. Take all this and just swing this back. You want to take these bits here and rotate them out like that and straighten out that panel. Rotate that out and straighten out that panel. So now you can take this entire assembly here, just rotate that 180. So now we're going to start rotating this central section around. You only want to bring it to about halfway to basically where this is kind of facing you. And then we're going to engage these hinges right in here. So bring that down. And that will give you just enough clearance to take these and rotate these around. It's still barely enough clearance, but just try to work with it as best you can. You have hinges on top of hinges, so everything kind of wants to move on you, but just kind of get that around to where you can swing that there, and then we can rotate this the rest of the way up. Then we can bring these bits all the way back, this little central bit, and just flip that up. You can flip out these little barrels here, and then we can close all this up. Snap that into place. So again, flip that little barrel out, and then just close this up, and get all that snapped into place. So you got it looking like that. So to get the head out, you basically want to push on this section here. You kind of see where these two tabs are sticking up, and you kind of push on that. And just kind of pull this forward, and that'll just bring the head out with it. And you can take the head and just swing all this around to the other side, like that. And if it hasn't done it for you already, you see that little panel I just kind of snapped in there. Just push that in, snap it in place. You just kind of bring the head forward, just keep that out of the way. So now for this section here, you just kind of want to rotate the arm out. You want to rotate all this up and then swing all of this down. And again, this entire assembly right here, you want to just push down. So you kind of see how that's kind of sunken in there now, like that. Same thing on the other side, so just kind of rotate that arm, rotate this section up, swing this section in, and then just slide all of this down. This side likes to fight, but there we go. So you got it like that. So now you can rotate these assemblies down. So the arms are sitting where they need to be sitting. And then you can just bring all of this back. Bring all this back. Be mindful as these are on sliders also. You can kind of pull these out, and that will help you get these tabs and slots lined up on the sides here. Like that. And like that. Now you can just push all this in. So you got that looking like that. So now you just want to bring this panel with the head back. And now we can close this up, and you want to make sure that these little clips here clip onto these little tabs on this panel that his head is on. So make sure everything's in position. And bring that up and snap that into place. And if the head now doesn't want to move forward, that means you got that locked in place properly. So now we can take these little hooks here, and they will just drop down right in there. Hold that in place. So now what's going to happen here is that this hood is going to fold up. You want it to go underneath this rear section here. And basically you have these tabs that are going to go into corresponding slots on the inside of this. And really you're just kind of feeling it out. But you kind of feel those tabs and slots drop into place. So it's looking like that. So once you've done that, you can now close up these side sections, and they will go around the hood and further lock that into place. And there we go. And then you can just tab all this together, get it squeezed together, and now all that is locked into place like that. So now we can take the wings, and they will just tab into the sides. Right here, just bring that up and just tab that into the side right there. And I'll actually get these further situated in a little bit, but now we need to get these panels here. So what we need to do is these panels will slide up. That'll slide up, and then this will just collapse forward. This part's a little tricky. And also because this is a pretty stiff hinge here. But slide this up and then just kind of push this forward. You can see, so it kind of collapses like that. And then you're going to bring this back. And this will just tuck in behind the backpack here. You probably should do that before you get the backpack situated, but I like to get the backpack situated now, just because this is a little bit more of a difficult process. There you go. You can tuck that in, so it's looking like that. A little panel you can just kind of push in right there. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, you just want to slide this up and then bring it forward. Again, this may take some force, just be careful. If this is giving you a little too much resistance, you see this little tab right there, you might want to shave that down. It'll make it a little bit easier. I might need to shave this down a little bit more because this is still kind of hard for me to do. And I've already shaved that tab down, so this part I don't like. There we go. You can see how that collapses down. And then just tuck this behind the backpack there. So it's sitting like that. And now to finish off the wings, you just have this little tab that's going to end up in this little notch right here. So you just swing that forward and angle the wing back. And that will just drop into a little notch right in there. So it sits like that. Same thing here. Just angle that back, bring that forward, just drop that tab in that little notch. And it just gets the wings sitting nice and straight. And there you have Tractor back in robots mode.